boys.
Yeah, you said congrats,
Nice.
10 boys.
Nice. There's 10 boys.
We got too horny, and that's why.
I don't want him to come. Jake, how horny does this make you?
Very horny.
It's one big joke. Believe me, Minnesota sports in all sorts. You see, they know it's never gonna get easy. You see, they know it's Minnesota, constant pain and misery.
And I'm a part of Al Qaeda.
It's 10K TV. It's one big joke. Believe me, Minnesota sports. In all sorts.
Dude, he could turn Daniel Jones into Brett Favre.
Minus the penis pics.
Yeah. You can legally smoke crack.
What is a DVOA?
I win dicks, vaginas, or ass.
I think that's what it is.
Don't know much except to yell.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 10K TV presented by 10,000 Takes. Boss Man here, joined by Jake, Sarge, and deep apologies, folks, that we are out a day late on this program. You can blame our internet provider, who I don't want to oust in case they ever want to sponsor. But they were down yesterday, and Sarge and I even showed up. Sarge had everything on, and the internet just wasn't there, so it just wasn't working.
This wasn't working.
Yeah.
Kind of need the internet to go live in this day and age. So,
Fortunately.
and we didn't want to do a bit where we record it and then release it the next day because then stuff maybe wouldn't look as relevant. We like being live.
Yeah, I mean that's how you do
Yeah.
that's how you do real sports coverage. By the way, I got another obscure text this week about the 10,000 Takes TV show. You know,
Okay.
do people ever ask you guys about that?
You talking about the radio show?
Yeah, the radio
So I
show.
believe it's broadcasted on TV now as well. So
Oh, like on public access?
yeah.
Okay.
So there's another 10,000 Takes out there that is significantly smaller. I think they've about existed as long as we have, but everyone always reaches out and they're like, "Hey, are these like 50-year-old dudes related to you guys? Are they part?" I'm like, "Nope. They have like a different logo. I think they use like a shield and it's like a Ted Lasso type logo. It's really interesting stuff." But I got another one of those requests this weekend asking if they are part of our umbrella, and I said no. So.
No. Yeah.
Maybe they haven't missed a live episode, so they might be better than us in that sense. But, anyways, also I see Edward Julian is playing for the Saints tonight. Saints game's happening right now across the street from where we record. So, Sarge, your thoughts on Edward Julian?
Don't miss them.
Okay.
Don't miss them.
All right, sounds good. Let's get into the show, fellas. We had a big golf tournament this weekend, the U.S. Open. Not Pinehurst. That was last year.
Yeah.
Oakmont. Sorry. JJ Spawn. I just really impressed the world. I think after everyone thought, well, this guy almost beat Rory, but came up short, and he really proved that he had a set of balls on him. I mean, really good stuff. He comes out of the rain delay and looks like a completely different golfer. He absolutely worked in the first however many holes he played, and then
Dude.
went 3 under his last 5 holes, dropped 2 putts outside of 30 feet, including the one on 18, which we can get to. But I mean, what do you guys got to say about future Ryder Cup member JJ Spawn?
Okay, first off, I wanted to say he had some of the most unlucky shit happen to him to start his round. Did you see that one where it hit the flag and it went like 60 yards out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. You couldn't hit a better shot, and that happens to you, especially at Oakmont where everything else can go bad pretty easily. I thought it was just an absolutely insane tournament. I mean, I'd never seen – I mean, he was the only golfer to finish below par
Right.
in the end, and there was only 3 below par before the rain delay, but he absolutely came out of the woodwork. Like, he was leading, and then he went down. It looked like it was going to be a Sam Burns, Adam Scott finish, and then everyone else was just – I'm surprised they let him play in that, because there would be balls in puddles and they would be asking to move the ball, and they're like, no, you can't move the ball. You got to
And then
hit
they
it.
get in a second opinion on moving the ball. They still couldn't move the ball.
No.
Dude, did you see Adam Scott just absolutely fist pump a bogey?
You
don't see that in any other tournament. But that's what we want to see out of a U.S. Open. We want to see carnage. We want to see these guys experience the pain and misery that everyday golfers do even though they still, might shoot 1 or 2 over for the weekend, which is something that we couldn't do in 4 rounds at a municipal course. But it's just, it was insane. I mean, the rain just added a whole nother layer of chaos to it. Apparently, Smiley Kaufman on the broadcast said that these were like the biggest raindrops he's ever seen, which,
Yeah, you thought it was hail.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty insane stat there, I guess, or detail,
yeah.
I should say.
Yeah, I mean, as if that course wasn't hard enough, you just add 4 inches. I think they got 10 inches of rain in 3 days.
Yeah.
Crazy weather shit.
God decided to flood the earth again, and it was during the U.S. Open. So
JJ Spawn had Noah's Ark.
yeah, right. And yeah, he was Noah in this
And,
in this tournament.
and Victor Hovland built the arc by showing him the exact putt that he needed to hit.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Dude, people were saying apparently like in the art of gamesmanship that Victor Hovland should have chipped that so that he couldn't have given JJ a line. Plus, he could have holed it out. I guess you do have the option to chip on the green, but it's a weird thing to do. And because Hovland was what? But he was already like 3 back. So I don't know what people are thinking with that.
Oh, this isn't fucking curling where they're trying to like put a ball or a rock
Yeah.
out there to try to defend him from going in the hole.
It's
or
not like
something.
pool,
Yeah, this is stupid.
or it's not like one tie, all tie.
No.
Well, and also he could have done 2 putts as well. He
Yeah.
didn't need to make that. He just did.
Going back to the Sam Burns puddle thing, did you guys see the video after someone walked out?
I did.
And walked in that area that he was in, and it was just squish, squish, squish. The divot that Sam Burns took was already filled with water. What do you guys think on that ruling? Do you think he probably should have gotten relief?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it depends on what the actual rules say, but I feel like if your ball is somewhat submerged,
Yeah.
you should get it. Just move it a club length to the left or the right, where there's less water, and that should be it.
Like, if that's not the rule, then what is?
I don't know. I just don't. You just see some of these guys hit the ball out of there, and there would be just a huge splash of water, like they're hitting out of a lake. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm like we already said, this course was already tough as it was in the sun when it was dry. I just can't imagine adding all that water to it, especially for these guys that were in their last like 9 holes.
Yeah.
Try to do something. So
Yeah. Another highlight of the weekend was that Wyndham Clark turned the locker room into a rage room.
fuck. He literally did like those Wreck-It rooms.
Yeah.
He turned it into that for himself.
Just started what I would imagine is kicking stuff, is what it looks like here.
My goodness, man.
Man, that's tough. A golf course as old as Oakmont. I mean, that locker room has probably been around since the Civil War era.
Yeah.
And he's a former U.S. Open champion, too. This is his tournament. He's a past champion. Just that guy, coming off the heel of what he did at Quail Hollow. Remember when he destroyed that T-Mobile activation? Mm-hmm. Which is funny because T-Mobile doubled down on him breaking the T-Mobile activation with his driver head and almost killing an innocent marshal at Quail Hollow. T-Mobile has not released a statement on this from what I've seen.
All right.
Because T-Mobile is his main sponsor. So, Wyndham Clark, man, figured out.
Yeah, this isn't the Rage Tour. This is the PGA Tour. So let's keep
Gentleman's
it calm.
game.
And I just think I know having watched Full Swing, he's definitely dealt with some mental, health issues with his. I know his mom had passed away and all that. But you're a U.S. Open guy. You're a winner. You're on the PGA Tour. It's not like he finished the worst. There were some golfers that finished 20 over.
There was another clip he
Not a
got
bad
caught
round.
on a hot mic. He hit a driver and just slammed his club and yelled "fuck."
Yeah.
Rory was getting after it out there. He broke a tee marker. He also had maybe the most impressive club throw I've ever seen. He chucked it at, I think, his bag, and it bounced off and went right back in his hand.
Nice.
It was sick.
Makes you think he's practiced that before,
Yeah.
possibly, because
Getting ready.
I don't even know if that's possible. But, great tournament. Really unfortunate that we only have one left, but with the way the new schedule goes, that's kind of...
So I wanted to bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up. How dumb is the PGA to just blow their load this early? I mean, there's still so much time left. And
Well, you can thank Liv for that because they had to condense the PGA Tour playoff schedule
okay.
from October to August for the Tour Championship at Eastlake. And that's why, the PGA Championship used to be in August from what I remember growing up.
Yeah.
And now because the Tour Championship is in August, they had to condense all the majors. But every year I feel like the PGA Championship and U.S. Open are way too close together.
They
like
are.
what,
Yeah.
3 weeks away?
Agreed. And then on top of that, you eliminate the entire north of the United States because usually those courses can't get ready in time by May.
Right.
So
Well, and it sucks enough for these members because, like, I would imagine the members at Oakmont probably haven't played it much all year. I mean, they close these courses down months in advance, and fuck, it's only been spring for like 2 months. It takes that long to probably get the course ready. You can do the math. They probably haven't played it since last fall.
Yeah.
So if I was a member out there, this is my last thing I would say. All right, fellas, let's go mow all of that rough down. Let's slow down the greens. Let's get back to playing every man's golf because that doesn't look fun at all.
how much do you think membership is at Oakmont, if you had to guess?
Initiation fee, $80K. Annual fee, $50.
So it's $150
Initiation.
fee, and then it just says monthly fees. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, monthly fees are $2,000 a month.
Oh, that's not that bad once you pay the initiation fee.
yeah, I was
But you
gonna
need
say.
150 Genos up front. That's
Yeah.
That actually seems. I mean,
Pull out a mortgage.
that's not like
yeah.
unreasonable.
Well, it's
honestly.
also Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very like blue collar
Yeah, that's true.
area. You know, I don't know what the golf scene is like. Neil Shipley is a member there.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
He was walking the grounds. He had a Coors Light. One of the videos.
God, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I would imagine he'll be playing in it soon here. Because, the U.S. Open is a whole different qualifying system. Just because you could be a good college golfer or something doesn't mean you automatically enter. Apparently 80,000 plus guys entered to make it to this year's U.S. Open.
When are you doing it?
Yeah, when am I trying?
I mean, you gotta
Fucking
try
never.
it. Yeah.
It's still expensive, I think, to sign up for qualifiers. Isn't it? Yeah.
You might as well just go play that course on a weekend day because A, you're not making it.
Yeah.
And B, they probably upcharge it because the USGA has to take half of it so that they can run the tournament. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm good. All right, let's move on. So a little bit of a more serious story this weekend. The state's largest manhunt came to a close on Sunday night when Vance Bolter was arrested after fatally shooting Melissa Hartman and her husband, as well as injuring Senator Hoffman and his wife. Apparently, he dressed up as a police officer.
Dude, it's fucked
He wore
up.
a mask too, a Halloween mask.
And did you see when they found his car? He just had like guns in it, just storage bins full of assault rifles
Yep.
and shit. I was in Grand Forks this weekend for a member guest, and I woke up to that story on Saturday, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, same here. I was like, wait, what? I was like, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, there's something happened. But I'm like, wait, Brooklyn Park, they've shut down the Edinburgh golf course.
Yeah.
Like, we've golfed there. This happened, like, right next to Edinburgh.
Right.
So it's like we've golfed there several
Could have
times.
been us.
Yeah, it could have been us. Yeah.
We would have got him though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would have hit him with a golf
Jake
ball.
would have thrown a snap hook his way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, I just like what I don't get about it is you can not like someone's politics, but just straight up murdering them is fucking terrible. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't know what the full motive was, but the idea of just wanting to kill somebody because you disagree with them politically is absolutely insane to me.
And the weirdest thing too was like the whole roommate angle to it.
Yeah.
So this guy was married.
but he had a
Vance
roommate.
Bolter but he had a roommate who was like an older man like him who he was like, yeah, Vance is my roommate, and he was texting us. Is this like a cuck situation?
Yeah, I don't know. Because like they were at his house in like Green Isle, Minnesota.
You could hear like kids in the background when they were interviewing him.
Like, is this legitimate though? Like, is it actually his roommate?
I
Like,
don't know,
like
because
was
this
he
guy
faking it for
was
attention?
getting a lot of airtime.
Yeah, it
He
was.
was getting an unnecessary amount of airtime. There was also another clip where after he got captured, this guy was like laughing. He's like, "Oh no, he was never a Republican or whatever. Like he's a Democrat." Like it was just every time the first time they interviewed this guy, he was bawling his eyes out, and then
Yeah.
the second time he was laughing about the claims that were made about his roommate, who was also married. Glad they got him though. Shout out. That was honestly surprised they got him alive. If I'm being
I
honest.
thought he was going to go down shooting.
Yeah,
For sure.
With all those guns he had in his car too, it's crazy shit. But
Yeah, he was hiding in a field or something down by his house or something.
yeah, like a mile away from his house.
I don't know. It's a bizarre. It's a just obviously very sad, but it's such a bizarre
Yeah.
chain of events that happened around it. It's just
And that,
nuts.
especially here of all places.
I know.
You know?
I know. You wouldn't think that. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know if you would expect it to happen in Minnesota. I don't know. I don't. It's
Got to
just
be like a
bizarre.
manifesto coming out that this guy had, right?
We
Usually-
definitely had a manifesto, but I think they said they're not going to release it.
Yeah.
Or it's been partially released.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No.
I wouldn't do that either. I don't.
Usually they only do that when they're like, I'm gonna keep killing people if you
Yeah.
if you don't release it. Like the Zodiac.
Yeah.
The
This is
Unabomber.
Zodiac killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's been caught. The Zodiac killer has never been caught.
Right.
They've allegedly have caught him, but
Right.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad he was caught.
Yep,
Finally.
fuck him.
Yeah, fuck that guy. And yeah, he's could be facing the death penalty. I heard.
Okay,
Yeah.
do we
Federal
have the
level.
death penalty here?
No,
Federally.
no. But he's being charged federally.
Oh, okay,
So
good.
as well as on the
Fucking
state
whack
level.
'em.
So yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't really have any remorse for that guy. So
Oh, force him to watch Carolina Panthers football for the rest of his life.
yeah, if you're not gonna kill him, yeah, have him do that and in a jail cell
Yep.
or a confined room, solitary confinement.
Yeah.
doing that.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Sad story, but at least they got him.
Yep.
So shout out to the local police and everyone for that. This game is starting here shortly, so for you, those of you listening the next day, we apologize. You might as well skip through this because we're going to give our predictions for Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Series is 3-2 heading back to Fort Lauderdale, and I don't know, it feels like this is going to go 7.
I think it is.
It's just McDavid, Draisaitl, those guys care too much. They're going to fight too hard. It's going to be, I don't know who would win Game 7. It just, the way this series has gone in the past and how it's gone so far, it just feels like it's going back to Edmonton for one last run. I think most hockey fans want this because I'm starting to realize now that it's elimination that this could be like the last NHL game I get to watch until October. Mm-hmm. Really depressing.
I don't want it to I don't want to wrap up on just like a potential one more NBA final game.
Yeah.
I think that's a different scenario. We'll get to that, but I definitely I don't think Edmonton is dropping this game. They're playing Florida tonight, right?
Yep.
So they'll go back to Edmonton. I don't think there's no way Edmonton drops this game, especially being that they came this far again after how many months of training. They've now had almost over 2 months of a postseason. They're not going to drop Game 6.
No.
There's just
They're not like the Wild in a Game 6 of the first round where they're like, all right, boys, pack it up.
Yeah, we're done. This is the Stanley Cup. They made it back here. We saw emotional Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and all these guys were last year. There's just no way. I just can't. They got to be just practically on natural adrenaline right now, like
Thinking
just
about-
going off.
Thinking about what happens if they don't win it, the thought's going to enter Connor's head of like, is that ever going to happen? It's going to almost be like what McKinnon's first, 8 years were before.
Come to the Wild.
Come to the Wild. Yeah. We got cap space.
We haven't been in a situation like this. If we get to the Cup with you guys, we will win.
Yeah.
Not in Edmonton.
You ever played with Kirill Kaprizov?
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty fun for him.
Yeah, we just need a couple
They can
more
both
pieces.
wear 97. Mm-hmm. They can both. One can be 97.
Dude,
the
it's
other
like
can
in football.
The other could be 97.1.
Yeah, 97.1, 97.2.
So when I was letting Jake up here, Connor McDavid said they're going to win tonight.
I did see that. He said he's calm and ready. Is that what I saw?
Yes.
Yeah.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
wow.
that.
Very, very nice reference there, Sarge.
But like how unreal though has Brad Marchand been? I mean, it's just like they acquire him at the end of the deadline for what, like a second round pick or something.
I'm looking that up. I
mean,
thought it was like a
we
6.
were all at the hockey expo and we were like, holy shit, Marchand just went to Florida at like 3:00 on the nuts. And they got him for a bottom pick. He's scored in almost every Stanley Cup Finals game. The breakaway goals. I mean, he's on track for like a Hall of Fame run. And honestly, if they do win tonight, like he's the Conn Smythe winner, no doubt, right?
I think so. He got 2 goals alone on Saturday.
I mean, Bennett's got fucking 15 goals though.
And
in the postseason.
I think
It's unreal.
yes, but in the Stanley Cup Finals, Marchand has been their best player, and it's actually not even close.
Which is, I think, where the
you know what?
scope narrows
Yeah.
to on a player. If you're making it to the cup, I mean,
yeah,
you're-
Conn Smythe is just that final round. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like Florida has everything else. I mean, look at their third line. Like Lundell is, at least a second line player. Marchand is obviously been a first liner his entire career. That Listerainen guy.
He's good.
He's filthy. I mean, their back end is amazing. Bob is playing better. They have the fans on their side. They have a better celebrity lineup. They had the Cavender twins there on Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Babes.
I
fans.
agree.
fan.
Definitely not hockey fans. They've admitted that. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were there.
Why the fuck were they there?
Jake,
Go off, King.
you got to answer, Jake.
No, but like what? So
Jake got called sexist, by the
yeah,
way. Which
by several
this is
people.
what
There was like
happened.
200 comments on that.
Yeah,
Instagram
on
alone.
each platform
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
This is why, though, there's a golden rule that you don't touch Taylor Swift, because this is what's going to happen. I've seen this happen to a lot of other big content creators and podcasts where they say one negative thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just an all-out air assault.
So I'm sorry, like I can't. As a male, I can't make fun of somebody who happens to be a female without being called sexist. And I also called out. I wasn't just upset they were showing Taylor Swift. They were showing Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, who is a dude. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just like we deal with this in the football season. Okay, I'm watching hockey and I see them like, why are they there? What ties do they have to Florida and all that? Like, it's just, are they just there just to get attention?
There were some Swifties that were tying some webs together of why they could be there. They didn't seem very credible, though.
No,
I wasn't sure how accurate. Maybe like one of Taylor's cousins is friends with Ekblad or something. I'm not sure what that was, but
I don't know.
you got to think about this though. On the flip side, they probably hate it too. They probably hate that they can't go to a game
I know.
without being the center of attention.
I'm sure in a way, but like, why do you go to Sunrise, Florida for a Stanley Cup game randomly? I don't know, but
Fans of the oil, Jake. Jake, are you gatekeeping the sport?
I guess so. I guess. But I'm officially sexist now because the internet said so.
Yep.
It's true.
Jake. By the way, Jake also doesn't think women should be allowed to vote anymore.
Yeah, they shouldn't be allowed.
I've heard him say that behind closed doors.
Yep. Because I've been outed because I was upset with them showing Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce several times.
It was the tip of the iceberg.
That also means, yeah, it's just the tip of the iceberg. That also means I've been outed. Like, I don't want women to drive anymore.
Nope.
I don't want them to vote. I don't want them to do any of that shit. Like that, make that be known. I'm sexist, so
Yep.
it's true. It's true.
We'll cut the clips.
We'll cut the clips.
Yeah.
Post this. Use all the Taylor Swift hashtags. Just
Yeah.
let the world burn.
Yeah, and post it in some Taylor Swift Reddit forums or
Oh,
something. And
join
be like,
some Facebook
this is their
groups."
typical white male that hates women in power.
I always love
shit
when they
like that.
respond to like anyone trashing her, saying like, "Siri, play the smallest man who ever lived." Oh, I just talked to Siri now.
Oh no, she's gonna play the smallest man.
Oh,
I saw
see?
that comment.
This is all part of their plan now, because now it just drove up her plays to 1,000,000,005 today.
Yep.
No, but seriously, like, it's a good question. Are there any celebrities who are actually Oilers fans? They might be like the most. I guess there's not really any celebrity Wild fans either. I'm talking like
Not a lot.
top tier,
Yeah.
A-listers.
I can't think of anybody that I don't know. I'm trying
Wayne
to
doesn't count though.
No, Wayne Gretzky doesn't count.
No.
As an Oilers fan. He just
Former
doesn't.
players don't count.
No. I don't know.
No.
There could be some Canadian
Like-
celebrity, but I don't know.
Justin Bieber, if he just keeps hammering the Fet a little harder, he might think he's watching the Maple Leafs. By the way,
Yeah.
have you seen he's just been posting golf videos
Yeah.
in his tank top and
very nice clothing. Or like
at
very
very
fashionable
nice golf
clothing.
courses that I'm assuming he paid to buy out for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him today chipping on a green. I'm like, okay, we gotta talk to him.
Yeah. Is there something wrong with you?
He can't do that.
Yeah, he's been on some weird shit lately. I actually feel bad for him right now.
Yeah, he's I think he's going through some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably some shit going on in that Diddy trial that he does not want
Yeah.
brought up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I brought this up a couple weeks back. I watched Draft Day for the first time. just got jump scared by Diddy being in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he was Bo Callahan's agent. I was like, whoa, there's Diddy.
Dude,
That guy's fucked.
It's funny you say that. So I've been rewatching Always Sunny, and he's in one of the episodes playing the bass. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
And he just looks insane.
Yeah.
Traumatizing, man.
You can see it before it happened. But all right, let's move on to the Twinks. Good stuff here. Yeah, lost 5 of their last 6. Actually beating Cleveland right now, Sarge. Let's mark that up in the positive column.
Yep.
Royce Lewis back on the IL with a left hamstring strain, which really sucks. He was batting .393 in his last 9 games. His article in The Athletic, he just said, "I'm tired of being the one that's getting bullied and picked on by this game." Lewis told reporters in Houston, "Whether it wants me to suffer on the offensive side or when I'm going hot, it just wants to kick me out with an injury. It just seems like picking on me at this moment." I would actually say that everyone who played Oakmont this week can relate to that as well. This game just hates them.
Yeah.
But-
I can see his frustration, but also I know he's been doing well, but the Twins, I think they've lost their last 4 games. Despite all that, and despite the slump, another stat I was looking at, or a tidbit, out of their last 10 games, they have had 4 games where they've allowed 10-plus runs,
Yep.
including 2 16-run games, both to the
Yeah.
Rangers.
Yeah, they actually
It's horrible.
In June they have given up the most runs as a team.
The state of Texas might as well just buy the Twins because they own us.
They do.
We
They
did not do good in the Texas swing.
the way they played us this year, they beat us equivalent, or for the next, what I think is equivalent of the next 3 seasons.
Yeah.
In the amount of runs they have
Jake,
scored on us.
Sarge and I were talking about this last night. Your take of which we got called dumb for, of
Yeah.
saying that we got hot too early, is actually panning out a little bit.
I
I mean,
s-
there's a long time left, but all jokes aside, that's starting to actually look accurate.
I stand by my take. I think they got too hot way too early, because I know they went on a 13-game win streak. They were down by like 12, or they were like 8, almost 10 games below 500. Went up only a couple games above 500 with that streak, and then people were like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "No, if they go on a little bit, if they falter a little bit, they're back to ground zero." And here they are, just sitting around 500 and outside of a wild card. They needed to gradually get into this winning streak. They
Right.
can't just use the 13 games, hype us up.
Well, they blew
and
their
then go
load too
down.
early.
They did.
I used Blue Chew or something.
Yeah, 30
I have
seconds, too quick.
I have some possible solutions for Royce Lewis's recurring injuries. The first one is witchcraft. There's some sort of spell we can cast that prevents the tightening of muscles or whatnot.
Can we have him talk to Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah,
he has some
ayahuasca
ideas.
maybe.
or some sort of darkness retreat or something like
Although that whole thing didn't treat him well with the Achilles.
that? No.
Pinch runner, Sarge, can you just do that whenever you want, right?
Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to play after that. But yes, you could.
Okay. New trainers, kind of a copy and paste solution I had from the Minnesota Wild. Maybe we just fire the training staff and blame it on that. I also have more stretching, something we could all do a little more of. Maybe he could learn Corey Perry's stretching routine. Did you know Corey Perry stretches for like an hour and a half a day?
Jesus.
I mean, good for him, because it probably does wonders on your body in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But that's just
Maybe the Harrison Smith hanging rope exercises,
the Russian training method
Russian
he does.
ropes. Yeah.
That's brutal.
One of those big cast-looking things that the Wolves players were always using before,
That was going to be mine.
before they were, when they were getting off the bench. Like Ant would take 8 casts off his body. Must be like an auto massaging and heating cast. Maybe
Oh yeah, that stuff.
make one of those for his entire body. I don't know.
Put him in just a bodysuit.
So this is unfortunate news that was listed in Dan Hayes' Athletic article. So here is the Royce Lewis injury timeline. July 2023, oblique. September 2023, hamstring. March 2024, quadriceps. July 2024, adductor, ADDUCTOR. I don't even know what that is. 2025 of March, hamstring. That was spring training. And then June of 2025, hamstring. I don't know if it's the same hamstring as March. If so, that's really unfortunate because it's probably going to come back again.
Hell yeah.
If I know anything about those. I mean, it just sucks. Just a last tidbit. The summary of the team's performance in the Athletic comment section was woke team and bad ownership, which you can imagine the whole woke team comment just sparked a humongous political argument.
That just probably sprung on a whole other set of replies, and
Yep.
they somehow probably got to climate change.
Yep,
In the
had nothing to
comments or
do with
threads.
poor Royce Lewis
Yep.
and his breaking body. It was about how the Twins are woke. You know what? I'll agree with bad ownership. I can subscribe to that.
Yeah,
Pretty sick of the poll ads.
that's one that's fairly relevant to that conversation. I would say, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the Twins, fellas? Sarge?
I'm not out yet, but it just stinks, man. The last 2 games they lost were really close. They lost in extras both of those games, so we were pitching well and we couldn't hit. And then I don't know what's going on with the pitching. Pablo being out, it's gonna fucking really suck. I don't know. Make a trade. I have no idea what to do, but it is a long season, so we got that going for us, I guess.
Hopefully Royce comes back soon. I saw there was an article that said there was a timetable. That was the announcement was that there's a timetable. I don't know what the timetable is.
There's just a timetable. The timetable will be released on July 3rd, the day before the 4th. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're just hyping us up.
Yeah,
But,
it was like when the PGA Tour and Live Tour said that there's a plan of a framework.
And then where is this framework?
Yeah, it's
We've heard nothing. Yeah. But no, when you're talking about Royce Lewis's injury history, which keeps expanding almost year after year, monthly, I swear we brought this up in the past, but it just reminds me of that that character from SpongeBob they're selling chocolate to.
Oh, yeah.
He's in a full cast, and I had to look up that full quote because I have to remember what it was. But he says, "I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. At night I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep." Oh, by the
That's
injured
basically
fish.
Royce Lewis's quote translated to SpongeBob. Unfortunately,
Yep.
this game just breaks me every single time I start playing well.
Every time I walk on a base, I break my leg. Every time I pick up a bat,
Break my arm.
I break my arm. And at night, I don't know. When I'm stretching my hamstring, I break my ankle.
He's like the best guy. Too.
I know,
Like, all the players on other teams love him. Like no one has ever said a bad thing about this guy. Like he doesn't. There's worse pieces of shit in the world out there that deserve to get hurt all the time.
Yeah, and he definitely doesn't. Unfortunately, when you see these things happen, especially with hamstrings, they always are optimistic. When he comes back, I'm like, it's inevitable. It's going to happen again. These are lifelong. It's not like a hamstring.
Justin
just feels
Jefferson
like a
has
bone.
the same thing.
I know.
Like, you never know when he's going to pop again just because you have that injury once and it's just
Why did you
prone to
put
it.
that out?
You're
in the
recurring.
lingers
ether?
for life.
You know what?
I don't
'Cause-
have the power to do that.
Because we're realistic here on this program, okay?
One more solution for Royce Lewis. If he keeps getting hurt, save your body, retire, and join Alex Kirilloff in selling houses.
Yeah.
Seems like he's
Blair
crushing
Walsh
it.
too.
Seems like he's crushing it. Oh, yeah. Blair Walsh, too, is doing realty.
Fuck Blair Walsh.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck Blair Walsh.
Yeah.
How much hate. Dude, how many times do you think people connect with Blair Walsh to, like, pretend they're buying a house and they just say, fuck you, bro?
Yeah. Wide left.
Do we
It's
do
got to
that?
happen.
bitch.
It's got to happen
Oh,
daily.
man, I feel
It's
bad
gotta-
for
It's
him.
got to happen daily, but.
No, fuck
Yeah.
that guy.
Well,
Don't feel bad for him.
you know what? If the Twins are drown, if they're really making you sad and you want to drown your sorrows. God, this was such a good line, and I fucked it up so bad. Our beer, Captain's Patch, folks, really good stuff. It is a raspberry lemon shandy, 4.5 APV. Sold all over the state now in liquor stores, all the Total Wines, a ton of MGMs. You can go to captainspatch.com to find it near you. It's at bars, it's at restaurants, it's at Target Field by gate 34 on the tap wall or in cans at section, what is it? Well, it's right by the Grey Duck, Grey Duck deck.
That is.
If you're struggling to get through this ad read like me and you're struggling to be a Twins fan, just drink Captain's Patch until it starts to work, and I promise it just might. CaptainsPatch.com, 21+. All right, let's talk basketball, Jake. Basketball.
Gimme the ball so I can go dunk it.
I still have a little animosity about the NBA right now, just with how the Wolves ended. I'm still every time I see SGA and I see Lou Dort and Chet, I just kind of still get angry and I just want to turn it off. But I gotta say, I do love the whole Halliburton picture. Sarge, if you want to show this,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
he definitely knows about it too, because this bit has become so famous where people at games start tying the T-shirts that they give out around it like they're turbans. And there's been AI generated photos of Osama bin Laden looking like Halliburton.
Yep. I forgot what I can look it up quick, but I forgot what the whole meme was like.
Well, and there's also a Thunder version that someone came up with. I don't remember what that one was called, but I don't know how we got here.
Man,
Yeah, the Halliburton.
and it's a very well photoshopped.
Halliburton is like laughing during the press conference, and he says, "Yeah, I can't repeat some of the things I've seen, but I think they're funny."
Shirts, man. If he was on the Wolves, man, our fans would have taken this to a whole new level.
We would have gotten shadow banned for every platform for some of the stuff we would have generated.
Well, it's kind of bad too because I think there is an Osama bin Laden documentary that was released on Netflix not too long ago, and there have been people that have photoshopped him onto this documentary as it's a new Netflix documentary. And it's crazy. People ran with that.
Yeah,
It's funny.
SGA has played really well. He's bounced back from a bad game. Last night they went off. Every time the Pacers got within a few points, they would just run back away with it. A lot of the same stuff we saw against the Thunder. They lose a game, they outplay you the next game, and then when you try to come back, they just seem to always go back ahead. But
Yeah.
All right, I got a crazy stat for you.
yeah,
So SGA has made 167 free throws so far in the playoffs. The top two players in minutes for the entire NBA regular season made 96 and 159 all season.
Wow.
Oh my God.
the guy's a world-class actor, man. I
Yeah.
don't know what to say.
It makes it not enjoyable. It kind of makes you disrespect him a little bit. A lot of it, I should say.
Insane.
But yeah, that is so frustrating. Like that's not. Are you really winning? I'd be like, are you really winning games because of your talent or because you're just trying to win an Oscar or something on the court? Let's not do this.
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying. I did see something interesting more related to just the series in general. That I mean, this does look like a series that could potentially, hopefully, go to 7 games. And if this does go to Game 7, I was kind of blown away by this. It would be the first Game 7 in an NBA Finals since 2016.
Really?
That's
yeah,
pathetic.
since that famous Golden State
Yeah.
versus
LeBron.
OKC or what? No, yeah, well, you're right. It was Cleveland.
Yeah.
which was one of the highest watched sporting events ever. I can't remember what the numbers were.
Dude, I even watched that game. That was,
I did too.
The one where someone threw the inbound in the wrong way or something.
That was the LeBron block.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That.
yeah.
I forgot. They all blend together because they went to the fucking NBA Finals like 3 years in a row. So it was like extremely boring.
And a lot of people were saying too that was rigged, like by the NBA to get it to Game 7. I don't know what evidence was back then, but so it kind of surprised the NBA doesn't do it more because Game 7s do bring in a lot more money than ending it in 6.
or 5 or so. A
Also-
lot have ended in Game 5s in the NBA Finals history, which is frustrating.
Sarge, when was the last time there was a Game 7 in both the Stanley Cup and the NBA?
Ooh,
AI
looked that up.
will be able to figure
Has
that
that ever
bitch out.
happened? There's
It's had to have happened
At
like,
some
in the
point.
same years. Oh yeah, it's definitely had to line up. I would say
Stanley
for
Cup
sure.
Finals and NBA Finals Game 7 at the same time, because that would also be awesome. You know, just
Yeah.
extend the fall/winter sports season by one day if that's it.
It's definitely happened. I just don't know the last time.
I'm looking it up.
I'll see if I can get maybe a different. I don't know.
You have to ask ChatGPT on that one.
And NHL.
1994 Rangers, Canucks, and then it was Rockets versus
Dude.
Knicks.
What a wild time that was, because
Oh, yeah, I got it,
June
yeah.
of 1994, that happens. Arnold Palmer played his last U.S. Open at Oakmont, where we had it this year, and OJ got charged with double murder and was driving down the highway. This was all happening at the same time.
Well,
And I think the World Cup was in Salt Lake City.
94.
Yeah, there's a whole ESPN documentary at 30 for 30 called like June whatever 1994. It's just
Yeah.
there was all this shit happening at the same exact time.
Damn.
Watch that one. Okay, that's all. You guys got anything else for basketball? I mean,
No.
yeah.
Other than Go for hoops.
Oh, you got to go for hoops update?
Oh, shit, I already
They're-
transitioned to go.
No,
That's
you're
fine.
fine. They, I saw some videos. They're practicing in the gym with
Okay.
Niko Medved's first finalized roster up for the upcoming year. So
Jake, have you been scouting these practices?
I think they only just started practicing, so I haven't had a chance to sneak into the facility yet, but
Yeah.
that will happen.
Just ask Parker Fox for his badge. Or whatever
Yeah,
he's got.
I'm sure he can get us in.
I'm sure the barn is not that hard to get into. It's a
Well,
pretty old building.
I'm talking. This is like the athletes' village.
Oh, they
Probably a little
practice
tougher to
there.
yeah,
Oh,
those things practice at
That's-
Williams.
Wait, Mike Hawk doesn't have access?
No,
Yeah, I thought
He's-
you were a
he's-
University of Minnesota employee.
he's pretty much banned from all athletic facilities
And titty bars.
and titty bars, but he still meanders in there with some disguises. So
Yeah,
I think,
fake mustache.
yep, they'll figure it out.
No, so go for football. Just having a little weekend of recruiting, huh?
They've been having, and this is just like the cherry on top, actually, for I think PJ Fleck's absolute expedition he's putting on here with the recruiting side of things the last year or two.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know a lot about the recruits he brought in this weekend, but the 2026 recruiting class is like ESPN is rated in the top 25. It's like 15th or 16th in the nation, and according to 247 Sports, like they're stacking up to be pretty good. In 2025, I think they're like 48th. They have the 48th best recruiting, or for this upcoming year, they have like the 48th best recruiting class, which is good to be in the top 50. And then some ESPN analyst or something, which you can kind of just say whatever, but he ranks like the Gophers as a top 40 program to watch for the future that has potential to break through or something. I don't know what that means, but
Maybe run
PJ
it back on the Duke's Mail Bowl.
yeah, run it back to Duke's Mail Bowl or break into the college football playoff and get a home game here.
Two local guys I see on this list: Howie Johnson of Forest Lake,
Yep.
and Andrew Trout of Ricori.
Yeah, and I think one of them's like a top 300 recruit or something,
Yeah.
according to ESPN. But they're doing real. Yeah,
Some other interesting names. We got an Ezekiel in there, a Kai, a Rico, just some real unique characters, part of the new recruiting class. So
you looking at 2025 or 2026?
2026, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
That'll be
the one-
next year,
That'll
but-
be next year, but still, that's the one that they're real. I mean, they're really. A lot of people were getting really hyped up about the Gophers, and I think this is the best period of recruiting that I've seen since
Yeah.
Tim Brewster's first couple years, but a lot of those guys transferred out after 1 year because they probably thought he was a fucking idiot,
Yeah.
So this is different. I think players will actually like PJ Fleck and stick around. So, and this year they got Drake Lindsay, Darius Taylor's returning. Like they should be pretty solid this year and adding on to this. I mean, in a few years, man, we could be talking about a college football playoff.
You never know, Jake.
Never
It's
know.
expanding.
It is expanding, so our chances only go higher while we were recruiting this well too. So,
So let's go through the schedule now
uh-oh.
and go win and loss.
Okay.
So yeah,
like
sorry,
this
yeah.
bit.
All right. So August 28th, always the week of the state fair, Labor Day weekend. That Thursday, it's always a good one. Home against Buffalo, MAC team.
Yeah, not the Buffalo Bills. We're not
Nope.
playing Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So I would chalk that up as an easy W.
I think we're gonna go win.
Or I shouldn't say easy. They always make it
I was
interesting.
going to say there's nothing easy.
In every opening game. It doesn't matter if they are playing an Alabama caliber team or Bowling Green or something. They'll always make it close or even lose. So
Unless they play New Mexico State,
yeah.
who belongs to Jerry Kill. Remember there was the whole handshake thing?
Oh yeah, that's right.
We beat them. Did we beat them by like 50 some?
We killed them.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Saturday, September 6th, 11 a.m., Northwestern State.
Yeah, and this is not Northwestern.
Yeah.
This is Northwestern State, an FCS school. So yeah, this should.
Is that a game we paid like $400,000 to them to play?
Probably. I don't know. There are so much better FCS schools to play. I don't know why you're picking Northwestern State, but
Yeah.
that should be a W.
Yep, I would think so. All right, we're 2-0.
I'd be selling my season tickets if we lose that game.
2-0 heading into California for a 9:30 start in Berkeley against University of Cal. I don't know how good they are these days. I
Yeah.
just know that Aaron Rodgers went there, and that's about all I got in terms of.
And Marshawn Lynch.
Okay.
Marshawn Lynch, the last time the Gophers played California was the first year. Huntington Bank Stadium opened up in 2009, and they were like in the top 10. I still remember there's a notorious video of Eric Decker getting absolutely shit pounded in the corner of the end zone. You can probably look it up. But that's just that's coming back to, that's jogging my memory on that. But they were really good then. They're not nearly as good now unless they have a breakthrough year. I think that should be a win.
Okay, I like that too. Home against Rutgers. This feels like a loss. I don't know why.
And Rutgers is kind of on the up and up in terms of recruiting and everything. So you know what? I mean, yeah, that's a tough one, but it's at home.
The time is TBA.
I don't know, man.
I feel like if it's an 11 a.m. game, we lose. If it's a 2:30 start, we win.
I say I'm going to give us the benefit of the doubt. I say we win.
Okay.
Because we'll mention in a second. I think the next week will not be
Ohio State.
Yeah, I think we're going to be 4-0.
Defending national champs.
We're not winning at Ohio.
No.
If we win at Ohio State, I mean, there's something is wrong.
I love this next one. So it's homecoming against Purdue. It literally says 6 or 6:30 on the
okay.
official website.
Damn, I got to plan out my day.
Yeah,
figure that out.
6
depending on
or
what that is.
6:30, not TBD, not TBA. It's 6 or 6:30 kickoff. Purdue. I like a win there.
Yeah, I think we're gonna win at home. Homecoming has been a little dicey for them.
Bounce back game after a shit pounding in Columbus. 7 p.m. the next week, home against Nebraska, playing Patrick Mahomes, potential future murderer and skin crawler.
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola,
Yeah, he's weird.
his brother who looks like Jackson.
He's weird. I'll take that as a win.
Okay. Iowa, October 25th. I'm gonna say we lose this one because we just can't seem to fucking beat this team other than 2 years ago.
When we did beat them in Iowa City.
Okay.
And we lost to them here last year, right? Yeah, we did because we got embarrassed because Cam had the whole video. and-
Yeah. Who hates Iowa? We hate Iowa.
he
He just
got-
did that chant like over and over again,
Yep.
and then got called a lot of really mean things by Iowa fans.
Absolutely called out. But yeah, they always play Iowa surprisingly close. At least they have in the last 6-7 years in Iowa, minus maybe a year or two. But I just it's tough to see that. Just it really is dependent now at this point on how like the Drake Lindsay is doing up to this point, and how we're doing. If we're going off of our predictions so far, the Gophers are 6-1 going into Iowa, but then we'll be really hyped up on them, and they'll lay an egg. So
Can't get hot too early, Jake.
no,
There's
they
still a
can't.
lot of
I think it's unfortunately, I think it's going to be a loss.
Yeah.
So we're going to go 6 and.
I'm gonna say November 1st, home against Michigan State. I like a win there.
Yeah, Michigan State is really bad.
Yeah.
Now.
And then I think we lose. I think we're away in Oregon. I think we lose, but I think it's closer than we. I think we
Yeah.
cover the spread. I think we cover the spread in Oregon.
I think we do. Because
November
are they going to be?
14th.
I don't know if they're going to be as good as they were last year, but
Sorry, I just absolutely kicked the table.
but I think that is a loss. Unfortunately.
Okay. And then we play away in Northwestern, their little high school field. Oh, that one's at Wrigley.
Yeah, that's the Wrigley game. That's
Oh,
right.
dude. We should go to that.
I know. I was thinking. I was already talking to my dad about
That's
that.
the week before Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, because you could just take off that whole entire week and
saying.
spend some days in Chicago.
Take Monday through Wednesday
Well-
off. Just go on a little Wrigley bender.
Let me see. November 22nd, 2025.
God, I feel like you got to get tickets for that game like now, though.
You probably do. What? Can I just know what day it is?
It's Saturday, the 22nd.
It is a Saturday, okay. Because I know they play a game on Friday, so.
Well, yeah. Okay, so no, it's got to be because they always play Wisconsin 2 days after Thanksgiving or the
Yeah.
day after.
Yeah, Thanksgiving 2025 is
2
Thursday,
days
November
after.
27th. So
Yep.
yeah, it's that. Okay, that's huge.
So I think we beat Northwestern at Wrigley, go on a bender in Chicago, take it back home after Turkey, and we beat Wisconsin at home.
I would agree with that. I think we're going to beat Wisconsin.
Wisconsin
at home.
their program is not good right now.
No.
either.
So I think we're in this scenario we finished 9-3 and 6-3 in Big Ten play. I don't think that'd be good enough to put us into the Big Ten championship game, maybe,
No.
and probably not good enough to put us into playoff. There's got to be. It's just like it's just like when they talk about elections, how you gotta win a state that
You got to win a swing state.
win a
You got to
swing
win one of
state.
the swing games.
These are swing games.
I think
man.
Purdue is a swing game. I think if you can somehow shock the world and beat either Ohio State or Oregon, I think you have a chance.
I think you do, and if they can win the games that they need to win that we mentioned that we predicted on here, and you beat either Ohio State or Oregon, I think you for sure have a chance.
I could see them doing that, winning one of those games and losing to Buffalo.
Oh, this is what's going to happen.
That could very well
So
happen.
this is what I'm seeing. The Gophers, yeah, they're going to beat Ohio State on October 4th, and then lose by 20 to Purdue
Yep.
on homecoming a week later.
And that's going to be perfect for the Gophers because what they'll do is they'll do an alternate stripe seating situation again. And the tickets will go be really expensive because we'll be coming off the hype of beating them. And a ton of people will buy merchandise. Like Cam will buy a $70 polo in
fucking in
the pro shop because it'll be 4 sizes too big, but he doesn't want to mix up the mismatch, and then we get blown out.
Dude, and that would be historically accurate because the Gophers have done that in the past.
It was when they beat Michigan State to get ranked, and then they lost to Purdue during homecoming.
that, and you probably count a few other times, but I think it was the year 2000. I don't know how and why I know this. They beat Ohio State in Ohio State for the first time at that point since 1942 or 1945. The
25-year anniversary.
Yep, and I think the Gophers were 7-1 at that point, and they were then in the top 20. Proceeded to drop the last 4 games, including 2 to like Indiana and Northwestern, who were like a 2 or 3 win team in conference play.
Yeah.
And I was 4 years old, don't really remember it. But my dad, of course, remembers it very well. So I'm like, that's just on par for the Gophers.
Yeah,
So,
no, nothing's changed since.
so I would still be very cautious going into that Purdue game in the rest of the season if they were to win one in Columbus against Ohio State, which is sad, right? But
Sarge, 4-1 Reds. Live statement from you?
Yeah, Dave Festa's pitching.
Tell the team.
Festa,
So this is the 3rd time through the order, and this is always when he fucking
Yeah.
it happens. Yeah, we stink.
All right. That's enough Gopher football talk. Probably for the entire offseason, but we did it. We did it early.
got through.
We cashed in, we put our bets in early. So now when we win these games and we lose the games, we can be like, hey, we said this back in June. Suck it.
it's here.
This one shouldn't take too long, but just Minnesota Wild offseason. We're getting closer and closer to July 1st, a couple weeks away now. Who, I guess, is your offseason wish list? Like, who would you like to see us sign in terms of free agents? Just throw some names out there.
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, you can just go right to the list. Sam Bennett, I think, is a number 1 guy. If you can sign him, he's going to probably be very expensive. I mean, isn't Florida going to try to make a push to go after him again, like re-sign
And
him?
if he would,
Absolutely.
Especially if they win the Cup. I mean,
they win the Cup, he's going to go for the 3.
By the way, they're up 1-0.
Okay,
Florida
that
is?
makes sense.
Who scored? Sam Bennett?
Reinhardt.
Okay, that makes sense. There's Mitch Martyr, John Travaris.
Don't want Marner.
You don't want Marnie?
Not a playoff player.
Yeah. Well, Marner and Travaris are both on the Toronto team that notoriously loses in the first round, like the Wild. So
Yeah,
that's
we
a good point.
gotta. That's like putting 2 ends of a magnet together that are opposite or that are
Yeah.
the same. It's gonna bounce right off.
They're going to come in and we're going to have another stellar, maybe even lead us to a President's Trophy, but then lose
yeah.
in the first round because they don't know how to win in the first
Yep.
round. Like, it's actually a very good point.
Stay away from all the Leafs.
Stay away from, I'm kind of on board of that with that, even though they might be available.
And you know what? That's a 2-way street. The Leafs should not take anyone from the Wild either at any point, even though they've already done it. They took Connor Dewar, Ryan Reeves, some real Hall of Famers in Minnesota there.
Yeah, well, I was fine with it. But people did we knew people that loved Dewar for
Yep.
crazy reasons, and
Yep.
Reeves, I mean, great dude, but
Great sound bites. Russo definitely misses Ryan Reeves.
great sound bites, but good sound bites don't win you championships.
How about this one? Mikhail Granlund.
I have him on my list.
Bring him home, Jake.
He is only he not only has playoff experience, but he has experience winning a damn playoff series in Minnesota in a Minnesota Wild sweater. He had that amazing Game 6 goal against Colorado in 2014 where he
Diving
literally
one.
dived and put it into the net. The forced Game 7 where we won and got out of the first round miraculously. So I'm all for trying to bring him back. He might fit. He might be cheaper.
He did great in Dallas, by the way. For the time that he did play there in the playoffs, in the regular season, he was incredible. And he was the Sharks' leading scorer when he got moved at the deadline.
Yeah,
He might have just figured it out a little later in his career, and that's okay.
that's fine. He's just a little inconsistent here for how much we were paying him, and that's
Yeah.
okay. You know, it is what it is. Another guy, and bring him back, Brent Burns.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be a free agent
Is he?
at 40 years old, and he has not made a decision yet if he's gonna retire or not. I'm like, this guy's gonna come back. And
Hey, and who knows? Zeev might not make the team.
you know what? You never know.
No spots guaranteed, Jake.
Brent started his career here. Bring him back to end his career, and
Oh, dude,
that would be unreal, actually.
for the whole narrative that Billy only brings in aging guys, could you imagine what that would do to the narrative?
Oh man, it wouldn't do him in terms of that image that he puts
Either
up
of those
very well.
moves
But
would not help the image. Oh, bring back Ryan Suter.
yeah,
He's a
is he gonna be a free agent?
Yeah, I think.
Oh man, bring in Burns and Suter as a
dude.
package deal.
If we brought in Suter, like, do you think we would still boo him even if he was wearing a Wild sweater? Still, I think so.
Oh, for sure. I think a lot of people would be. It probably wouldn't be until we made the playoffs where we maybe if we do make the playoffs, like literally after 82 games, for us to settle down and be like, okay, maybe we can back him up a little bit.
People
But
who burned their Ryan Suter jerseys the first time would be like, I wish. Actually, they might just buy another one so they can burn it again.
they might buy another one or be like, oh, I'm fine with it. I've already moved on.
Yeah.
This is a bizarre move, but whatever. No, he'd definitely get booed. That would be funny.
More serious name, Brock Besser. That's been thrown out. I don't think that's going to happen either. From what I've heard, Vancouver is going to pay to re-sign him. It kind of sucks, Jake. It's a slim market. We've been looking forward to this day for so long. It's like if you haven't got to celebrate Christmas in 5 years, and then Santa's like, I'm short on gifts.
Yeah, you only have like 2 presents
For
under
the
tree.
first year, you're like, all right, I'm so excited to have Christmas again and to get presents, and then you find out there's a economic downturn at the North Pole.
Or you know, you work hard for 2 weeks and look at your paycheck for the government to take 50% of it.
Yeah. Or if like the Panthers keep Sam Bennett, it's
Yeah.
like, well, we would have given you the gift, but the rich kids, they have a cooler house, so
I know it's
we're gonna give the toys to him.
slim pickings right now, but there's still options available. There's some really, like, when I was looking at the list, like there's some really like kind of underrated options you could maybe go after, like a Yanni Gord from Tampa Bay. Like, I really like him, but I still think we need a player that excels above him, but a player like that I think would be fine if you can pair him with someone else. Like but like in terms of like the star caliber players that can kind of excel us right away after dealing with this cap hell for so many years now, right away next year, it's kind of tough. But
I've seen like Connor Brown, who's had a pretty good playoffs for the Oilers this year.
I saw, Kyle Palmieri, Nicola Ehlers has been thrown around, and Claude Giroux is older.
I saw that one.
He's on the list. I don't know if we're going to go after him, though, but there's
Kind of
some
glad
interesting
we didn't
options.
sign Nelson for how much we would have to pay.
Yeah.
Nelson, I mean,
No, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good on that one for him aging and everything.
yeah.
I really do like the option of, like someone brought up on our voicemails like over a month ago, of going after Dylan Larkin.
Yeah.
That's the most intriguing option for me. Even though he's not a free agent.
You're gonna give up a lot.
I know you probably would give up quite a bit, but I
And
mean,
have a lot of draft picks left.
This is probably the least excited I've been for an NHL draft in a while because
We traded all that for Jiricek, which hopefully he pans out this year. I don't know.
it'll be interesting.
We'll talk about it more as stuff comes out.
Yeah,
I don't
after
think Billy's
July.
gonna jump on anything too quickly July 1st. He'll
No,
let
I
someone
don't think
else
so.
do that, and then
Yeah.
maybe about a month from now we're talking about someone that got signed or traded or who knows.
And talking about a 2026 Stanley Cup in St. Paul.
Yep. Joey Chestnut's back. So if you guys forgot last year, he did not compete in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July because of a dispute with one of his sponsors. What was the story? I think he was eating vegan hot dogs. He wanted to eat vegan hot dogs because he's sponsored by them.
Yeah, he was sponsored by a vegan hot dog company, and obviously Nathan's hot dogs are not vegan, and there was a dispute there, which I think is dumb.
It's kind of like using a torpedo bat though, because you got to think the vegan ones are a lot lighter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's actually a pretty good comp.
It is. Yeah.
Or it's like Scotty and Rory using illegal drivers in golf.
Yeah.
It's like, Joey, you can't show up with vegan hot dogs.
No.
You're going to be able to eat 200 of those things. That's not real meat.
Yeah, it's not real meat. They're
Your
lighter.
competitors are going to be eating real meat.
Yeah.
You can't show up to the home run derby with a metal bat,
Yeah.
aluminum bat.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
These are practically like hollow hot dogs.
Yeah.
You know, we need to eat the full on girthy the meat. We want to see the meat, which he can do it. He can win it. So
The funniest thing is every year I go up with a group of my friends from high school to a small town for the 4th, and you know they couldn't care less about this. I mean, they say they do, but they know I do, and I always, before we go out on the boat that day, I always make us go to the little bar in town and turn it on, and we always watch together, get a little buzz going early in the morning, cheer on Joey. It's just good to have him back. Everything feels right.
everything's right in the world now. It's a beautiful sight. It really was. It just didn't seem right last year.
No.
Like this is kind of like become an American tradition to watch us on 4th of July. Like Americans eating greasy hot dogs, which makes sense for our country. And
it was even less weird. It was more weird last year than it was during 2020 when they were like, remember when they were in that dark room and they were in like glass boxes for COVID, and
like they were exhibits.
Joey did it there. Yeah.
Like they were in the zoo or something.
Yeah.
He still did it, but yeah,
Now
I
it's
don't know.
back on Coney Island, and it looks like a good time there.
Back to normal. They realized their ratings were probably horrible last year. No one's sharing it. Nothing.
I think I watched maybe 10 minutes of it, and I was like, this is. It's actually a contest, which usually it's just Joey versus himself. In other USA related news, just to kind of tie that in, Sarge, if you want to show, I think I did a picture of this one too.
Oh, fuck.
It's all right. We have our first 6 players named for the USA hockey team.
I thought that was an error.
Oh, for
I thought that was
2026?
an error.
Yeah.
Okay.
Olympics?
I wanted to do a little transition thing here. That's all right.
Yeah, sorry. I literally.
No, you're good. Yeah, it's just a graphic saying that Jack Eichel, Quinn Hughes, Austin Matthews, Charlie McAvoy, Brady Tkachuk, and Matthew Tkachuk have been selected.
Okay.
I mean, I would imagine the team is mostly going to be the same as Four Nations.
It should be minus maybe a couple of changes, but this is like I ranted about after we lost Four Nations. The Olympics is where it's like pedal to the metal. This is where the true hockey team will be crowned here, and we're going to beat Canada in the Olympics, and it'll be a lot more satisfying than if we would have beat them in Four Nations. So
Yeah.
this is great. This is the first NHL Olympics or Olympics with NHL players since I think 2014. So the TJ Oshie year. So it's going to be really exciting.
If we somehow win this gold medal, I'm going to feel so much better that we lost in Four Nations because we can always say you won the little brother tournament. We won the big brother tournament.
Yeah.
So there's about 12 to 14 teams where almost all players from all countries are represented in the Olympics at the Olympic stage, while there was just 4 teams. Although a very fun tournament to watch. It was just like a little.
It was an all-star weekend break.
I mean, there were guys. Leon Draisaitl's not even playing in it. I mean, there's
Kirill Kaprizov,
No.
Alexander Ovechkin, Sergei Bobrovsky.
yeah, a lot of the
Know
Finnish
those guys? Yeah.
Nito Niederreiter. Yeah, or not Finnish guys. Like Swiss, Norwegian.
Right. The Czech guys.
A lot of good Czech guys.
Your
and
Czech is Czech.
Latvian team usually puts out a couple
Yeah.
good players.
Latvia owns Canada in
They
the
do.
World Juniors.
If you're under 21 or
Yep.
whatever, like Latvia is the best hockey team in the world.
Well, you know what? They've been given the keys of the kingdom now. They've been given the spot under the bright light to show that they are a hockey superpower.
Yep, they can do it.
Yeah. So that's just about it for that. Let's talk a little merch, by the way. Speaking of 4th of July coming up, we got a really awesome shirt we just put out. If you want to show that one right now,
Yeah, so we got a
Sarge.
few here.
Yeah, we have the as you can see, the mini beer one where it's the Captain's Patch logo in the state of Minnesota. Shout out to Weirs on that one. We have the Minnesota hat, the Captain's Patch, the Summer of Captain's Patch, kind of like a concert looking tee of all the bars. that Captain's Patch is sold at. I like this one on the right, specifically if you're watching the broadcast, where it's like a hockey bag with empty Captain's Patches around it. Can relate to that one. This one, especially for the 4th of July, it's Abraham Lincoln dunking a basketball. I don't know, Marlo asked me if that was racist. I wasn't quite sure what angle that is.
I wouldn't say it's.
No. I mean, he freed the slaves, so I'd say it's anti-racist.
Exactly.
Yeah, just some really awesome stuff on top of that. Plenty of other shirts, hats. We have the Minnesota hat. We only have a couple of those left. The 10K Takes rope hat. So go to 10ktakesmn.com. Check out our shop. All of our awesome merchandise, especially now that summer's here. We got Twin stuff, the Frost Championship shirt, Captain's Patch merch, and it all directly supports us. So for those who've been buying it, we appreciate it. And for those who haven't, check it out. Here's a story. Speaking of buying stuff, 900 pounds of meth were found at Quattro. Well, not found here, but so they raided Quattro Milpas.
Milpas or something. The restaurant on Lake Street.
You got a C in Spanish, so that's not surprising.
Quattro.
A Mexican restaurant on Lake Street in Bloomington Ave on Tuesday. They found 900 pounds of meth in nearby places in Burnsville, a shed in Burnsville, Jake. Your
Not surprised.
alma mater.
In Burnsville. No, not
And a
shocked.
few other places. Apparently, yeah, they put them in these spools that are pictured on the screen here, these massive spools. And this goes for street value of 22 to 25 mil.
Yeah.
It's actually about the amount of cap space the Wild have right now. I think they have 22.
Can the government can take half and give some to the Wild.
Yeah. Is this a sister company to Los Pollos Hermanos?
I don't know.
If you guys don't know, that's a Breaking Bad reference. That's another restaurant, Mexican restaurant, that had a lot of meth.
A lot of meth involvement.
Involved.
I would say just a little bit of meth involvement on that in comparison. Well, I thought I read too a couple of funny things about this whole thing.
Yeah.
They found gold-plated guns.
Yep.
And posters of Tony Montana from Scarface. Yeah. In there, so it's like they were like actually living in Scarface. One person was probably like, and I bet you it was just like one guy of this whole ring that was like, guys, we're Scarface.
Yeah,
no, we're not.
We're that guy.
No, dude, just lay off. And he's just like putting up posters and stuff like that. And the rest of the drug ring is getting annoyed at him for doing that. He's like, guys, we're like, I'm the wild card. It's like Always Sunny or whatever. Like,
Did you see the woman who got arrested as a separate part of that? Or I don't know if she worked at the restaurant. So shout out to Fox 9 for providing this piece of news. But Isabel Lopez, 27, of St. Paul, is accused of obstructing the investigation.
Yep. Okay.
Attacking agents and officers, kicking an FBI agent, and throwing a softball at a Hennepin County Sheriff's deputy.
So I remember seeing this. What ended up happening was they were going to raid this business because they just found 900 pounds of meth connected to this business. And, of course, ICE was involved partially with it. And they were thinking this was some huge ICE raid, like they were going on in L.A. and all. So people started protesting.
Yeah.
They're they're actually going in this active investigation to arrest people involved in a drug ring or drug trafficking. And a bunch of protesters came in saying, no, this is an ICE raid, fuck you. And then I saw that lady got arrested because she was like obstructing them from doing their jobs of arresting drug criminals. So
It literally investigating Walter White.
yeah.
That's some Walter White-ass numbers. 900 pounds.
It's fucked.
There's cars that weigh 900 pounds. Like the fucking smart cars probably weigh, what, 900 pounds?
Like a Fiat.
yeah.
That's insane to
A
me.
lot of meth, bro.
That's a shit ton of meth.
Yeah, I don't know where she got the softball. Must have had a cannon if it hit someone hard enough to get arrested for
Probably
it.
played softball. She was probably a very good softball
Do
player.
you think she threw it overhand or underhand?
Yeah, it depends if she was a pitcher or not.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like whoever was reporting at Fox 9, you got to disclose these details here.
I'll have to follow up with our friend Hannah Flood on
Yeah.
if we could get access to body cam, see the handedness of the softball.
I want to see this.
Yeah. All right, let's get to voicemails, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
So
it.
last week's prompt was what is the best city in Minnesota and why? I'd imagine there's some very passionate answers.
We do. So I'm going to start with some text first,
Yeah,
and we'll
start
end on
with the text.
voicemails. All right, so our first one is Hastings, the majestic waterfront and the falls by the mill, small town vibes, and great community. The downtown events are also a bonus. Okay, then we have. Okay, I'm gonna butcher these.
Golf courses too.
Yeah, absolutely. Willery, Minnesota. It's 0.13 square miles, 500 people, 3 bars. The town is where the Carneys lived back when the amusement park was on White Bear Lake. Long history of speakeasy, gangsters, and the working class. I've never heard of that town.
what town
Everything
is it
they just
again?
named rocked.
Willery?
Oh, Willery.
I actually exited out of it, so I might have. Wilner, Wilnerny, Willernie. I butchered that.
Willerny.
Willerny?
Okay.
Willerny, Minnesota. They said it's over by what? Hastings? What?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it must be White Bear Lake.
No, Hastings was the first one.
0.3 square mile town with 3 bars. That's an impressive.
That's Wisconsin numbers right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best town, St. Anthony. Towny field, but scooter distance from Vikes, Wolves, and Twinkies games. Just a mile stumble from the elite dives of Northeast Minneapolis. And there's a non-zero chance I bump into 10K Takes best, loudest personality, Sarge.
Yeah.
I did that on purpose. Not gonna lie.
Wait, you submitted that?
No.
Oh.
I read that one on purpose.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say.
Shout out that guy.
I was gonna say we ended up at Tony Giro's
Love that place.
after a Gopher game, and I puked in my mouth.
Nice.
Here we go.
That was after we almost beat Penn State. I thought that
right.
was gonna be one of those swing games that we stole last year.
That's right.
All right. Next one is Brainerd. Home to refreshing and beautiful Gull Lake, and even better times. I love Brainerd.
Yeah, it's
Love-
impossible to not have a good time anywhere near that place.
No, and with Brainerd, Nisswa. Find me someone who's had a bad time in Nisswa. You can't.
True.
I guess because there probably isn't a lot of people that have been to Nisswa, but the people that probably go to Nisswa probably have a good
Yeah.
time.
Zorba's, Pickle Factory, the
yeah.
Pines. It's
Oh yeah, I guess it's a bigger town
Preserve,
than you think. That's
Grandview,
right.
Yeah, there's
Breezy. The bar on Breezy Resort is called, oh God, what is it? The Docksider. Docksider. They have an Elvis impersonator there every now and then that shows up.
Really?
He did a great job a couple
Nice.
summers ago. That's
all right. Owatonna. We got a brand new high school. Okay. We got the Ginskis and Sports. I'm not sure what that is.
that
That
must have been a personal plug.
Yep,
for a family sports store.
we have 2 global corporation headquarters for good jobs plus a good community.
Owatonna.
What corporations are down there? Is that I think DeWalt's down there.
Cambria.
Cambria isn't in Owatonna. I thought that's towards Jordan.
I thought that was.
I know
more
they have
like-
Cabela's.
yeah.
Okay.
That's been there forever.
All right, next one. Minneota, near Marshall, Minnesota. A small piece of heaven. Can't say I'm familiar.
No, I've heard of. I never.
The best current town in Minnesota has to be Moorhead. High school state champs, Mr. Hockey, and only 40-minute drive from Lakes Country. Hashtag Nas Reed.
Okay.
All right.
We got. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Wild's World here. Annandale is the best town in Minnesota. It's surrounded by lakes, has an amazing and loyal community, and provides the best place in the state to enjoy summer. Also, they have one of the best 4th of July parades / carnivals.
All right.
Yeah, St. Mike. It's up near St. Michael-ish over there. That's a nice area.
I could see Wyatt having a hot take on their parade versus other parades, like the way they throw candy or the number of floats or maybe the number of bands. I feel like he has a reason. Saying one parade is better than another parade is a tough thing to do, but if anyone has logic behind it, it's definitely him.
It's Wyatt World.
This is his job.
It's Wyatt World for sure.
So we got about like 45 Duluths. I'm not going to read them all.
Okay, so that's just a common answer.
Yeah, and I agree. I love Duluth. I went to school there. I visit there every year. Even in the winter, it's fucking sick. So sorry, we're not going to read all those because there was a fuck ton of them. Then I wanted to read this one because this is just funny and shows our reach a little bit. Hello, 10K, big fan from Illinois. I don't know any small towns from Minnesota, so let's go Evanston, Illinois. Never been there.
Okay,
Evanston.
Evanston.
Aviston.
Evanston gets a vote for the best city in
Evanston is where Northwestern is. But is it Eviston? Is it
Aviston. I don't know.
AVI?
Yeah, dude. I can't
Aviston,
read.
Illinois.
I love how Aviston, Illinois got a vote for one of the best cities in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That reminds me, when I was in Grand Forks flying out on Sunday, I posted a picture of me in the airport, and someone said Grand Forks, North Dakota, is one of the best towns in Minnetonka. Looked like a kid who sent
Yeah.
it, so
No,
he might have been drunk. He might have not been. Wasn't really sure how to even interpret that. What
That
the typo
checks
could
out.
have been. Anyways, sorry.
Well,
All
there's a
right,
Grand Forks
last
in
one
Minnetonka.
here. Hey, 10K, Miles here. My vote is St. Paul. I am biased since I go to school here, but St. Paul probably has the best food in the state. Non-chain restaurants from University Ave between Rice Street and Lexington Parkways wipes the floor with the best restaurants in most other cities and towns in the state. There's some really good
If you like
restaurants around
Italian
here.
and Mexican, then yeah, there's no better place
Yes.
than here because like West St. Paul has some really good Mexican places, and obviously downtown has some amazing Italian places.
Yeah, he
on
goes
the
into a little bit more here, but we're gonna move on to some voicemails.
all
Thanks
right.
for texting in, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
shout
Miles.
out.
Thanks,
I like
everyone.
St. Paul too. That's a good answer. We're literally there.
Very
right
good
now.
answer.
We're there right now.
Very fun.
All right, here's the first one.
To answer your question, a sleeper here, Shakopee. You got the big ass Mystic Lake Casino, you got the Renaissance Fair, and you got the fucking amazing Valley Fair. That's all I have. Peace.
Did he say the gay ass Mystic Lake Casino?
Big ass.
Okay,
Oh,
big
I
ass,
was gonna
which
say.
is Prior Lake, I thought.
Yeah, that is. I think technically Prior Lake.
It's close to the Shakopee border, but I think it's Prior Lake.
I was gonna
Okay.
say I could have sworn I've only been to Mystic like 100 times, but I was like I'm pretty sure that's in Prior
Everything down there is like
almost
degenerate
Shakopee.
territory. Like you can play golf, just get hammered. You can go to Charlie's; those places get hammered. You could go to the casino, gamble, get hammered. You can make a lot of bad decisions down there.
Yes.
So I like lumping it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here's our last one here.
Birdtown, aka Robbinsville, Minnesota is the best town. Shazam was written on the patio of Nonna Rosa Italian restaurant. Bada bing, bada boom. I don't know what else to tell you. Birdtown rules. Everything else rules. Right north of North Minneapolis. Small town in the big Twin Cities, but still elite. McKinley Wright came out of there, played Colorado, played for the Wolves, then went on to Dallas and then disappeared off to Europe, I assume. But yeah, no, you're sleeping on number one trauma center in the cities, I believe, which is North Memorial. It's also located there. And yeah, no. Don't sleep on Birdtown. Whiz Bang Days is coming up as well. So
Is he saying
take a
Burger
quick
Town?
visit,
Birdtown.
Wicked War.
Burger?
Maybe.
Bird.
During
BIRD.
the festivities, but
Birdtown.
yeah.
Bird Town?
Yeah, so I used to live in Robbinsdale, and they call it Bird Town, and I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of my time in Robbinsdale, other than the fact that so my roommate's car got broken into, my bike got stolen,
Yep.
and I literally witnessed someone get curb stomped
Ah.
right outside my house. We had a guy get arrested in our front yard.
Cultural experience.
It was awesome. I loved it.
It was awesome. It's like a little LA in
I
Minnesota.
got my wisdom teeth taken out in Robbinsdale.
Yeah.
That's about all I got.
So then in Robbinsdale, they have this super old school butcher shop called Hackenmuller's, and they wouldn't use gloves; they just grab it with their hands, and you knew like they had the best fucking meat. The Wicked Wart there is a cool little brewery. They have a super nice Italian restaurant there, good little date spot for you. It's a little spendy, but it's actually underrated. I really liked Robbinsdale, so shout out to
Okay.
that guy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Suzanne's written on something.
Yeah, it's Shazam was written on the Italian restaurant's parking lot or patio, which might be the Italian place you were talking about.
I can't remember. It's called. It's not called that. But
was-
it's super good. I definitely would recommend it. I'm
Okay.
totally blanking on it. I used to walk there, and there's
Shazam?
McDonald's there.
What is he talking about? Was it called Shazam? I
Is
don't
that a song? That's a song?
Also, there is more than likely a rub and tug in that strip mall there.
Yeah.
Without a, I'm almost certain of it.
Yeah.
Is it Nonna Rosa's?
Yes.
Ristorante Italiano.
I think that's where he was
unbelievable.
saying Shazam was written.
Shazam, like the app.
That's all. That's
He maybe had a few cocktails or Captain's Patches. That's okay.
yeah.
I appreciate it though.
Is Shazam a song? Because I was gonna say that's an app.
Or it's a movie, the superhero movie.
No, I can't. This is something by Shazam.
Something's
Shazam,
off about this answer.
written
I
in
also thought he
Robbinsdale.
kept saying Burger King. I was
Yeah,
like, wait, what?
Burger Town.
Burger Town, like from Fortnite.
Yeah. Burger Town or
Remember
Burger
you
World.
can drop into it.
Yeah, Burger Town, and then Burger World is where Beavis and Butthead worked in that show. And
Yeah, good
I
stuff.
don't know.
Good stuff.
Fun.
Thank you for the calls, guys, and for the texts.
Do we have another prompt?
Yeah, you know what? We'll announce it right now. Let's go. What is the? Let's do. God, I have so many. What's the? We should go something negative. We just did something positive. What's the worst stadium in Minnesota? Worst stadium. This can include pro, high school, whatever. I want to hear some horror stories from some small towns of basketball hoops without nets. Whatever you got. So call in the number. Sarge, if you want to read that off, or text it. So worst stadium in the state.
651-300-2129.
Yes. And we will read all the best responses, questions, or texts and calls. Make them entertaining. You know what? Make them interesting. Make them spicy. Those are the ones we're going to pick. So
yes.
Appreciate everyone's feedback. But that just about does it for another episode of 10K TV, folks. Thank you so much for listening, watching another week. Remember, we're live every single Monday on all platforms except for Instagram right now. It's kind of their fault. Fuck them. But, yeah, make sure to drink Captain's Patch at the Twins game or anywhere on captainspatch.com. Buy the merch, 10ktakesmn.com. But thank you, folks, for supporting us.